Hello. So first of all, I have to apologize that I'm already not at school. This was planned a long time. And so anyway, and then for sixth period, I'm sorry, because this got just planned on Saturday that the appointment came up. So I apologize. But what I would like to do right now is this. First of all, I know Mrs. Wilson totally owns this this whole thing, this math stuff, but I thought I was going through it, and so I thought, well, I'll just go ahead and make you guys a video so that you didn't go a day of school without hearing Mrs. Parkin's annoying voice. So, quick reminder, you guys need to be on your very, very, very best behavior as we go through this, and let's talk about the unit review really quick. So, I know there were only 7 questions, and plus, there was quite the large performance task that you guys had to complete. But don't, I mean, I know some of the questions might have been a little bit challenging, but I think what I'm going to do is postpone the test until Wednesday, and then we'll kind of see how everybody's feeling on Tuesday, and we'll do a couple other things to make sure you guys are 100% ready for this. So, all right, so what I want you guys to do right now is go ahead and you guys should already have those out. So let's talk about this. So here it is. All right, so the very first question says this. Anna is on a road trip. Hold on, let me get my camera situated. There we go. Anna's on a road trip. She uses 3/4 of a tank for every 9/2 of an hour. Bam, right? Okay, this right here is your unit rate. So tank of gas for every hour. Okay, so the question says this: how many tanks of gas will Anna use after 12 hours? All right, so in order to figure this out, I know you guys hopefully remember the problems that we dealt with like this. So the first thing that we're actually going to do here is we're going to find the unit rate. We're going to find out how many tanks of gas she needs for 1 hour. So bam, there is our ratio. So we know we're going to set it up as 3/4 over 9/2, because these are the tanks of gas and these are the hours. Now, remember, when you have a fraction within a fraction, it is called a complex fraction. Okay, to find the unit rate, this operation right here is division. So we're just going to go 3ABC4 divided by 9ABC2, and we get 1/6. So she uses 1/6 of a tank of gas for 1 hour. Okay, so at least we know what the unit rate is. But that's not what the question is asking. The question is asking how many tanks of gas will she use after 12 hours? So I need to find out after 12 hours, right? Okay, well, what do you do to 1 to get 12? You multiply by 12. So what do you do to 1/6? You do the same exact thing. So we're going to take 1/6 and we're going to multiply it by 12, and we come out with 2 tanks of gas. Okay, all right, so she uses 2 tanks of gas. All right, so if you need to have more time, just have Mrs. Wilson go ahead and pause this, and then you guys can write it all in, because this is important, and definitely you can use this on your test. All right, let's move on to number 2. So number 2 says this: water leaks through a roof, collects in a bucket. The table shows how many cups of water collect in the bucket for different numbers of hours. What is the constant, aka unit rate, aka scale factor, constant of proportionality for hours to cups? So we need hours to cups. There's my ratio. So we're just going to set this up, right? My hours are 2, my cups are 6, right? Or I could use 4 over 12, or I could use 6 over 18. Now, a lot of you guys are like, well, Mrs. Parkin, you told us to find the constant, we divide. Okay, well, 2 divided by 6 comes out to be 3/10 repeating. Ooh, bad glare, sorry. All right, 4 divided by 12, guess what it's going to be? The same thing. All right, so this is 3/10 repeating, but Mrs. Parkin, these are all not the same thing. So you have two choices. You can look at this as a fraction, since it isn't a fraction, and reduce it down. Or you can change all of these into fractions, or I'm sorry, decimals, and find out which one is equivalent. So 1/6 is like, oh my goodness, I think it's like 0.16 repeating. 1 divided by 6 is, yeah. So this is 0.16 repeating. 1/3 is 0.3 repeating. And that's what all of these came to. And if we were to reduce all of these down, guess what? It would be B, 1/3. Okay? All right. So moving forward, let's go down to this one. Okay? So this problem right here says this. This graph shows a proportional relationship between the amounts of money Tess earns and how many hours she works. Decide if each statement is true or false. Well, people, before you even dig into any of this, let's go see what's going on with our chart, okay? So it looks like this, the x-axis is our hours, the y-axis is money returned. Okay, if you look, remember, what's the one that we always want to look for? We want to find the constant, the unit rate, sorry. And so if we do that, we're going to find 1 on the x-axis, we're going to go up and then over to the y-axis. Okay, this dot right here shows us our unit rate. So basically, if we look at this, it looks like these every 2 or 5. So that must mean that we split this in half, and this is 250. This is 750. This is 1250. So our unit rate must be $12.50 for every 1 hour. Okay? So now that I kind of understand what's happening up here, let's go to this. So the 0.1 comma 12.5 means that Tess makes $1 in 12.5 hours. Now remember, if you don't want me to sing my ABC song, don't make me do it, because remember the X comes before the Y. So this is on my X-axis. This is on my X-axis, which is hours, not money. So this is false. Okay, let's look at this one. The 0.1 comma 12.5 identifies the constant of proportionality. Why, yeah, it does. We already figured that out. This is the unit rate. This tells us how much she makes per hour. The unit rate is also called the constant of proportionality. So that too is true. The 0.00 means the constant of proportionality. That is false. Okay? What 00 means is that the line goes through 00. She makes 0 money for not working any hours. Okay? And last but not least, every point, or I'm sorry, the 0.5, 6.25 means that Tess earns $6.25 every half hour. So this is 0.5, so this is right here. 6.25 is right here, and yep, this is 0.5 hours to $6.25. So that is true. Okay? All right. Now, this work goes here. All right, you can talk about this right here, and then this spot right here. So that's kind of what I'm showing you is I kind of went through and showed my work in a roundabout way. All right, moving forward, let's take a look at number 4. Now, I know you guys are probably like, Mrs. Parkin, what the bejeebers? Because I looked at it and I'm like, whoa, it's like proportional relationships, and but it's more like it's just wild and crazy. So let's go through it, and then I'm going to explain what it is. Okay, so as soon as I can get this on my screen here. Yep, there we go. Companies A and B produce phone chargers. Company A makes 15 chargers, and Company B makes 20 chargers. When Company A makes 30 chargers, how many phone chargers does Company B make? So let me show you what they did. They set this first one up as a ratio. So Company A to Company B, right? So there's B, and here's A, right? So there's that. Okay, and then it says, if Company A makes 30 chargers, here's that, how many does Company B make? Well, let's go through and read this. Here's what we know. These right here are going to be equivalent ratios. Because here's what we know. To get 30, we take 15 and multiply it by 2. So therefore, to get x, we're going to take 20 and multiply it by 2. So we take 20 and multiply it by 2. 20 times 2 is 40. So therefore, when company A makes 30 chargers, company B is going to make 40. So all this is talking about equivalent ratios. Okay. All right, number 5. A circular rug has a diameter of 18 feet. What is the area of the rug? Use 3.14 for pi. So, you know, Mrs. Parkin, I'm going to draw it out because it's just easier for me. So here's my circle, and it's a diameter. So the diameter we know goes all the way across the circle. And the question is, what is the area? Well, here's my formula for area. Area equals pi times radius squared. Uh-oh, shnikes. They're giving us the diameter. So the radius, because the radius is in this problem, is half of the diameter, so it's 9 feet. So here we go. Area equals 3.14 times 9 feet squared, right? Well, here we go. 9 times 9 is 81. So this becomes 3.14 times 81 feet squared. And we're just going to multiply those together. So obviously, hopefully, if you guys remember, this is finding the approximate value because we're plugging in 3.14 for pi and not using the pi symbol. So 3.14 times 81 comes out to be, the area of this is 254.34, and since it's area, it's feet squared. You don't have to fill this in. Okay? Again, at any time if you need to make a pause on this, feel free. All right, let's go to number 6. Emerson pays $227.25 for 3 new windows. Write an equation that represents cost C for W windows. Okay, so we're looking for cost per window, right? So the first thing that we need to do is we need to find the unit rate. All right, the constant of proportionality. Because remember, when we write equations, it's y equals the constant times x. All right, so this right here is the constant of proportionality. So to find it, we're going to take 227 and 25 cents and divide by 3. So here we go. That's why I'm not looking for if you guys can divide those on your own. I'm looking to see if you can find the constant. So here it is. So my constant, it's $75.75. Wow, I can't write today. For 1 hour, or for 1 window. Now that I have my constant, all right, now I'm going to write my equation. So the cost is $75.75 per window. So let me write that. Cost is $75.75 per window, right? So that's what it looks like in words. C represents cost. Is the equal sign. This is your constant. Okay, and then it's going to be times the amount of windows. Because for 1 window, it's $75.75. For 3, it's $227.25. So we multiplied $75.75 times 3 to get that value. So that's how we created our equation. Okay. Last but not least, number 7. The scale from a square table to a drawing of the tabletop is 6 inches to 1 centimeter. Bam. All right. So ready? This is 6 inches to 1 centimeter. So this is the actual over the drawing. So therefore, our scale factor is 6. The actual tabletop has an area of 1,296 inches squared. What is the area of the drawing on the tabletop? Do not let the word area make you do things you shouldn't be doing and finding things you shouldn't be doing. All right, we're comparing area. We're not looking to find the value of the area. So you're not going to try to do A equals pi r squared because it's a circular tabletop. No, we're looking for the area of the drawing of the tabletop. So we are going from the actual area down to the drawing. So if you guys remember, when you go from the actual down to the drawing, you are going to divide by the scale factor. So we're going to take 1,296 and divide by the scale factor, which is 6. So this comes out to be 1,296 divided by 6 comes out to be 216. So hold on, we're not done yet, because let's make, okay, so now we have this, right? Okay, so this comes out to be 216. Now remember, this is where you do use the area. Because remember, since we're talking about area, right? Just like if it was a rectangle, we had to multiply the length by the scale factor and the width by the scale factor. So we multiply it twice by the scale factor, right? So just like this is kind of, you need to think of it as your radius. So radius squared. So we're going to take 1,296 and divide it, wrong thing. We're going to take the answer to this, 216, and divide it by 6, and that comes out to be 36 centimeters squared. Okay? And I can talk more about number 7, because I know some of you guys are like, why did we have to divide 2 times by 6? So we can talk a little bit more about that on Tuesday. Okay? All right, so the very last one, the performance task. Okay, yeah, absolutely. Okay, I get it. You're probably saying, Mrs. Parkin, this performance task was wild and crazy. But guess what? It actually, if you slowed down and walked through it, it wasn't that wild and crazy. It just is, it's wordy, right? There's just a lot of stuff going on that you have to figure out. So let's read through the problem and kind of find out what we're doing here. Janice wants to have the interior of her house and office painted. The total area she needs painted is 3,840 square feet. She wants to choose one company to paint 2,880 square feet at her house and a different company to paint 960 square feet at her office. Janice finds the pricing below from the 4 different painting companies shown below. So we have Primary Painters, we have Hardy Handy's Helpers, we have Roll It On, and we have Perfection Painting. So those are the 4 different things the different companies that we're going to compare. So let's see what we have to do here. It says down here, it says write an equation to represent each company's cost per square foot. Then decide which 2 companies Janice should choose for the lowest possible cost. Finally, calculate Janice's total cost for having her house and office painted. Okay, so if we look at this, okay, the first thing that we're going to do is we have to write an equation. And in order to write the equation, remember, we have to go ahead and find the constant of proportionality, right? We have to find the unit rate for every single one of them. So let's start with Primary Painters. So to find the unit rate for the Primary Painters, we are going to do the cost per area, right? Now remember, this is just like that one quiz that you took. You just have to, all of these are going to have the same unit rate. So just pick one to choose. So we're going to go $137.50, and we're going to divide it by 50. All right, so here's the first one. So 137.50 divided by 50, and it comes out to be $2.25. So therefore, for 1 square foot, it's going to cost $2.75. So to write this out as an equation, cost equals 2.75 per, well, let's just call it feet. No, we probably should call it area, okay, because it's how much money per square foot, right? Yeah, I mean, we could put feet squared in there too, that's fine. All right, but let's do, here's Hardy Handy Helper. Ooh, can't even say that 5 times fast. All right, so Hardy Handy Helpers. Hardy Handy Helpers. Whoa. Okay, they charge $47 for 20 square feet. So how do we find how do we find the unit rate for this? Well, it's still the same thing. Money over area. So it's 47 over 20. So let's divide that and see what we get. 47 divided by 20 comes out to be $2.35 for 1 square foot. So our equation for this would be 2.35 times the, we probably need to change this. Every time I look at A, it's bugging me. So square foot. So let's go times feet instead of A. Let's use F. Okay. All right, moving on. Let's go roll it on. Yay. Thank you, roll it on. Because roll it on already has it in unit rate for us. So roll it on is $2.80 for 1 square foot. So the cost is 2.8 times the amount of feet. And last but not least, oh boy, this is the first time you guys have seen it like this. All right, so these are all ordered pairs, right? So if we were to graph this, okay, it would come out to be a proportional relationship. It goes $0 for 0 feet, and then it would go up by, that's what we're trying to figure out. Now, the one thing that I hope you guys remember is this. So perfection painting. Sorry, just a second. To do this, I'm just going to use the first ordered pair, which is $30.81. So remember, this represents the square feet, and this is the money, correct? Well, I hope that you guys remember. Well, we have it up here anyway, right? We have it up here. But to find the unit rate, it's always the y-axis divided by the x-axis, or the x value. So this is your x value, this is your y value. Or, like we said, this is the money over feet squared. So we're just going to go 81 divided by 30. So if we go 81 divided by 30, it comes out to be $2.70 per 1 square foot. So my equation, cost equals 2.7 F. All right? So now that we have all of those, right? Okay, we need to first look at all of these. Oh, let me see if I can make this a little bit bigger. Because obviously, we want to save money, right? We're not in this business to not save money. So in order we have to choose 2 of these, correct? So we're probably going to choose the 2 companies that are the cheapest. So the cheapest have the cheapest unit rate. $2.75, $2.35, $2.80, $2.70. So the cheapest are Hardy Handy Helpers and Perfection Painting. These are my cheapest, right? So now what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to have this person right here paint the largest area that we have. And the largest area is her house. And then I'm going to have Perfection Painters do her office, because that's the second, it's a smaller value than her house. So we need to find the total cost, right? It says right down here, find the total cost. So here's my 2 equations, right? Cost is, let me go back and look, $2.35 per square feet, and the other one is $2.70 per square feet, right? Well, this is a smaller amount, so we're going to have this place right here paint her house. So to find out how much it's going to cost, we're going to take the square footage and plug it in for the square footage here. So the cost equals 2.35 times 3,840. So let's see how much that's going to cost. So $2.35 times 3,840 comes out to be $9,024. Okay. All right. I'm so sorry. Guess what? Do you guys see what I just did? Oops. All right. I didn't read the problem. This is the total area. Okay. She wants to choose one to paint her house. This is her house. So scratch that. And then this is her office. Sorry. So let's go back and try that one more time. So the cost to paint her house is $2.35, and this is the square footage of her house, 2,880. Sorry, I saw that. I'm like, whoa, that's a really big house. So let's find out what that area is. 2.35 times 2,880 comes out to be, the cost for her house is $6,768. Now, her office is only 960 square feet. So the cost of that is going to be $2.70 times 960. So 2.70 times 960 comes out to be $2,592. So now to find the total cost, we're going to add them together. Plus 2,592. And it comes out to be is $9,360. Whew, that's a lot of money, a lot of money. So let's just really quick make sure we did everything. So we wrote an equation for each place. We chose the two companies. We probably should write that on here. We chose, I hope if you guys can see this, Hardy Handy Helpers at $2.35 per square foot, and Perfection Painter at $2.70 per square foot. And by doing all of that, this is our total cost. All right, so we have all of our check marks done, and looks like we have an answer. Okay, so if you need to rewind this and take a look at it again, do that. But talk about how to use all of the information from this unit into solving a real life situation. This totally happened. All right, so what I need you guys to do is I'm going to post some videos on Google Classroom. And if you want to go back and look at any of those to kind of help you relearn any part of the unit, you guys definitely should do so. So, all right, tonight your homework is just to make sure that you are studying and getting ready for the whole unit test. All right, okay, be good. Goodbye.